We now come to the 10-minute rule motion. Alberto Costa.
Thank you, Madam Deputy Speaker. I beg to move that leave be given to bring in a bill to require manufacturers to fit microplastic-catching filters to new domestic and commercial washing machines, to make provision about the promotion of the use of microplastic-catching filters in washing machines, and raising awareness about the consequences of microplastics from washing machines for pollution in rivers and seas and for connected purposes. 2 years ago, Madam Deputy Speaker, I presented this 10-minute rule bill to the House, and I'm grateful to the many colleagues that have approached me since, expressing support for this measure and encouraging me to present this bill to the House again. Can I also thank the colleagues who have co-sponsored my bill this time round, and I'm pleased to inform you, Madam Deputy Speaker, that it has cross-party support with co-sponsors from the Labour Party, as well as the Liberal Democrats, the Green Party, the DUP and the Conservatives on this side of the House. Microfibre plastic pollution is one of the most pervasive and preventable forms of microplastic pollution. In fact, around 500,000 tonnes of microfibres from synthetic textiles are released into the oceans each year due to washing clothes. I'm introducing this bill to encourage the government to collaborate with washing machine manufacturers and set standards to ensure that all new domestic and commercial washing machines are fitted with cost-effective microfibre catching filters. Microfibres that are shed during the washing cycle are too small to be captured by existing washing machine filters. They make their way into wastewater systems where they either end up as sewage sludge, which is later spread onto our agricultural land, or escape treatment entirely, ending up in the rivers and seas. Research now indicates that these fibres, once released, not only contaminate aquatic environments, but also travel up the food chain, making their way into an alarming amount of the fish that we all eat. The growing body of scientific literature on microplastics is truly alarming. We're not only eating and drinking these particles, but the latest research from the University of New Mexico shows that they have now sadly crossed into our blood, into human placentas, breast milk, and even our brains. Our bodies are now contaminated by microplastics. We should all be concerned that in lab studies conducted by Hull York Medical School, microplastics have been shown to damage human cells. And while the full impact on our health is still unknown, the evidence is mounting that numerous adverse health effects, including endocrine disruption, respiratory disorders, autoimmune issues and certain cancers, to name a few, are caused or exacerbated by microplastics in our bodies. Researchers have even found microplastics in human testicles, and this being a major factor in the dramatic drop in sperm count over the last 40 years. Madam Deputy Speaker, I hope the Government is convinced that microplastics pollution is now a major problem to our environment and our health. But how effective can microplastic filters really be on washing machines in addressing microplastic pollution at source? There are two factors that should persuade the Government. Firstly, the Government may be surprised to learn that a 2017 study revealed 35% of all microplastics released into the environment are shed from our own clothing. That is over a third of environmental microplastics from a single source, which we know how to reduce. And second, evidence shows that washing machine filters can reduce the release of microfibres by 78% in every wash cycle that we do, with some manufacturers now claiming that their newer products are able to take up 90% of these offending plastic pollutants. While countries like France have already taken legislative steps to require microfiber filters in all new washing machines from next year, and Australia has an industry-led goal of introducing these filters in 6 years' time, the UK can and should do its part. The United States Senate recently introduced the Fighting Fibres Act earlier this year, a promising federal initiative which, although in its early stages, it is a mandate for filters in washing machines. So the world is starting to wake up to this problem, and the UK has an opportunity to show leadership by introducing legislation that could make a substantial difference. This is not just about setting an example, it is about honouring our commitment to the environment and the health of the British people. Now, as chair of the all-party parliamentary group on microplastics, I have worked alongside numerous stakeholders, including the obvious ones, environmental groups, but also with industry leaders and washing machine manufacturers themselves, as well as academics and in particular the Women's Institute, who first brought this to my attention 7 years ago when they were here lobbying MPs. They've all helped to identify viable solutions. Together we believe that fitting microfiber filters on washing machines is a cost-effective, achievable, near-term solution which would have a significant impact on reducing plastic pollution and its effect on our health. British companies are already leading in the design and manufacturing of these filters, showcasing the innovation and capability needed to support this measure. I urge the government to work with these businesses to position the UK as a global leader in the fight against plastic pollution. My microplastics filter bill is a low-cost, practical approach to a serious problem, and it aligns with the UK's ambition to build a sustainable and environmentally conscious society. Finally, Madam Deputy Speaker, microfiber pollution is an urgent environmental issue, and this bill represents a clear and immediate, simple step to address it with the backing of washing machine manufacturers. I urge my colleagues in government to support this bill and to work with white goods manufacturers to enact a solution that has a virtually no cost to the consumer and that provides the safeguards that we now do need both to our environment as well as our health. Thank you.
Yeah.
The question is that the honourable member may have leave to bring in the bill. As many as are of that opinion say aye.
Aye.
Of the contrary, no. I think the ayes have it. The ayes have it. Who will prepare and bring in this bill?
Sarah Champion, Jim Shannon, Julian Ellis, Ellie Chowns, Ruth Jones, Peter Dowd, Sean Berry, Carla Diner, Alistair Carmichael and myself, Madam Deputy Speaker.
Microplastic filters washing machines bill.
Second reading what day?
7th of March 2025.
7th of March 2025.
Yeah.